Hi, this is Shane. I am not a full time trader, but I do like to part time trade, particularly crypto. It's something that I look at frequently. I just want to go through what I think is happening in the markets and what I'm planning to do. And this is not trading advice or financial advice, this is just my own opinion on the market. So don't take my advice literally. But yeah, this is kind of what I'm thinking is happening. I've used a few different um, indicators in terms of the MACD and moving averages and the key levels that I'm looking at. So currently we've got Bitcoin. It broke through the key level of 100K, got support on the 80,000, and now it's had a relief rally back into the 100K. Um, as it's a key level, and it didn't get support on it, it tested it, it got above it, but then it failed to stay above it. So that's a key bit of information that we need to look at, um, because this relief rally, if it doesn't manage to get back above the 100K and it retests the 100K, there's a high probability that we may see some more downside, which is what I'm going to take advantage of and do a short. So what I've been looking at is the MACD, and I'm comparing it to what happened back in 2022. So essentially, I've got a MACD indicator which has got MACDs for different time frames. So this one at the top here is the monthly time frame. I've got a weekly and a daily MACD plotted. So you can see that the momentum for the monthly has turned red, which is basically means it's just a crossover into bearish momentum. So if I go to the monthly chart and I look at the MACD, we've got a crossover here, which indicates we're now in bearish territory. So it doesn't really mean that we're going down from here. It just means that we're now entering potential bearish momentum and further downside. I mean, there is potential. There could be another high here, which is what I'm trying to confirm first. But what I'm probably going to see, what I'm leaning towards, is more downside after ejection from the 100K and then head towards 50. If we compare this situation to 2022, if you look at the last time there was a monthly bearish crossover, which was back over here, you can see that we had a similar situation where Bitcoin, it hit the 50K, it got rejected, tried to get back above it, couldn't get support, and then it was below it. It then went up to retest the 50 and then failed. So that's essentially what's a similar situation is happening here, where we got a reaction from the 100K, we went above the 100K, and now we're back below the 100K and failed to get on top of it. So we're now in a situation where Bitcoin is trying to retest the 100K, and if that fails, then we're more likely going to head down where we find more support around the 50K. Is kind of where I'm thinking Bitcoin's going. So these other MACDs I've got here on the daily, we've got a bullish, a bullish relief rally. That's why this is green here, down here. So if I go to the daily chart, you can see that that MACD is green for the most part. But what I want to see is for me to take advantage of any further downside. I'm waiting for some of these areas to be broken. So I want to see the daily go back into bearish territory where the signal line is below zero, and same with the histogram. And then ideally I want the 90K or the 90,000 to be the retested resistance. So I've kind of already drawn like what the pathway might be, but we'll go down, we'll hit the 90,000, we'll get a bounce, we'll break through it, retest it, and that's where, if it fails, that's where I want to take my short. Also got a little trend line here, where if the price kind of breaks this trend line and retests it, that's another confirmation that I think we're heading lower. So I won't take any shorts until I start to see more of that evidence of it going lower, and then take my short and then see how bearish we actually get, whether it capitulates or do we get support at one of these other major levels. Yeah, so that's basically what I'm looking for. I've also, just in comparison as well, I'm just looking at some of these RSI levels. I've plotted the RSI for different time frames as well, for the daily, weekly, monthly. So the orange is the lower time frame, and the what color is, I think, the monthly. Yeah, the weekly is yellow and the monthly is green. So currently, like, the yellow has been rising with this relief rally. If you compare it back to 2022, which is where I think we're in a similar scenario, that orange drops back below this yellow RSI line, and that's where I kind of need it to be for it to continue down. And I want to see this yellow line heading south, whereas currently it's still heading upwards. So there may be another short-term bounce here, or this could be the top. I mean, if you're looking at, if you're into Elliott wave, this could be seen as an ABC or a WXY to the upside. Yeah, in terms of counting it can be tricky. Whether have we completed a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the wave C, or are we in like a WXY to go higher? Don't know. I do use Elliott wave a little bit just for more confirmation as to where I think we are, but yeah, it's quite speculative and up to interpretation. So I use it sparingly, and I don't tend to use it with exact science. I tend to prefer some of these other technical indicators such as MACD and moving averages that are actually more to do with the price levels. So that's kind of where I'm at with Bitcoin. So we'll wait probably a few more days to see, does this bounce higher, or is it actually going to start breaking down from this point? Cool. Thanks for listening, and I hope you can join me for the next video.